do it now. No need for waiting or hesitating. Think no more lies, get wise and do it now, now, now. Time to build a better future. The time to do it is now.
Well, I'd like to give you something towards that end.
Which side
Here's a
are
$1 billion
you
bill
on?
with my picture on it.
Which side?
And it's great currency. Would you like to buy your own pipeline? We have line 4, 5, and 6 for sale today. Natural gas, oil, we do make everything. Or you can just take a few bags of coal. The coal is still good. You know, people tell you it's out of fashion.
I was burning coal in my, my cookout on the 4th of July. Like,
there you go.
I love coal.
It's my coal, actually. I own most of the fossil fuels on the planet. You know, that's my business. That's what I do with your money. So be sure to.
You're amazing, you know.
Aren't I? I know.
You're an entrepreneur, I can tell.
Yes, totally, totally. And so glad you're here to visit me this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope so. You know what's going on? Okay, Sue has some stuff to say.
Hear what's going on. Come on, come on.
Thank you, Jamie. Our attitude will be one of openness and respect. If anybody wants a copy, I got plenty. Toward all persons we encounter in our actions, we will be aware of the whole group and act as a team. We will stay safe and watch out for the safety of others. None of us will act alone. We are part of a collective and will defer to the leadership, Sue or Alex, of the floor organizers. We will use no violence, verbal or physical, toward any person. And Jamie Dimond, we don't want to forget that.
Yes, of course. I've got lots of money to dole out only if you cross the threshold and start an account. Fund fossil fuels. Anybody want to join me? Fund fossil fuels.
Oh, that's fossil fuels.
Yes.
So the general plan is Alex, Joe, and Susan are going to go in and present demands if they let us in. Take them to the door. We'll have a picket line, people moving back and forth across the entrance.
Yeah, I really will translate. That's the technical mathematical term.
Sorry, come on.
No problem. Okay, so we reviewed action agreement. It's all stuff you know. Joe is our police liaison. Extinction.
Rebellion.
Extinction.
Rebellion.
Extinction.
Rebellion. Say it loud. Say it clear.
Fossil fuels not welcome here.
Say it loud. Say it clear.
Fossil fuels not welcome here.
Say it loud. Say it clear.
Fossil fuels not welcome here.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. With you guys, I'll talk to management first, find out what their property line is and stuff like that, how they want it handled, and I'll come out and talk to you guys, okay? Sure. Yeah, let me know. All right, I'll be right up. How is your credit? You must have a credit score of like 1,200. You must be off the rails.
1,200, that's right. They do 4-digit credit scores just for me.
So tell us about your experience, Mr. Jamie Dimond.
Well, they build shitty relationships, I'll tell you right out. I don't know if it's because of the way I was dressed or because of my name or what, but they said that I couldn't come in and see anybody because I didn't have an appointment. And I said, well, it looks like
You came in without an
looks like you're really busy right now with all these people there and all the ones that have been pouring in all morning. And he said, no, we have to make an appointment with you. And he had his tablet out, and I said, you know, this is really crappy. I didn't say crappy, but, you know.
Hello. Extinction.
Rebellion.
Extinction.
Rebellion.
Extinction.
Rebellion.
Extinction.
Rebellion.
Extinction.
Rebellion.
You like my outfit?
Love your outfit. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the back.
Relationship.
Relationship thing.
Yeah.
A relationship thing. Oh, we love you. We love you all. Mwah, mwah. Oh, I love you. I love you.
Love your
Sorry.
money.
Sorry, it's an abusive relationship.
Oh, we love you. There's $1 billion for you, too.
The Elmo.
Oh, it's the Wicked Witch of the West. maybe a combination elbow and the Wicked Witch of the West.
That's a nightmare I've had before.
Where do you live? Is that New Hampshire?
Yeah,
I live in Newburyport.
Newburyport. My grandmother, my father's side,
You don't have to do it often, but you should do it enough so that you don't lose your
Sun's coming out.
Yeah.
We can hear you inside.
Hello, everyone. Glad you're here today. The sun's finally come up, and I am Jamie Diamond. I own this place. So glad you're coming in here to invest in fossil fuels. What I'd like to share with you today is a 66-page heartfelt letter that I wrote to my financial family, my sweet, sweet shareholders. I wrote this letter in April, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it said and tell you a little bit about me. Quote, 2020 was an extraordinary year by any measure, end quote. Of course, being a billionaire, I get to decide what's worth measuring. Quote, it was a year of a global pandemic, a global recession, unprecedented government actions, turbulent elections, and deeply felt social and racial injustice, end quote. My diamond soft heart was so hurt by all of these things, let me tell ya. And climate change, did you notice, didn't make that list, despite all of your annoying yelling. Besides, the weather never changes at my $17 million estate in Westchester. Quote, it was also a year when those among us with less, folks, were disproportionately hurt by joblessness and poverty, end quote. Oh, my diamond heart. You're right, the fossil fuel industry is suffering so much these days. Quote, we were keenly focused on what we, as a company, could do to serve, end quote. Specifically, the fossil fuel industry. Quote, we must earn the trust of our customers and communities by acting ethically and morally. End quote. Billionaires define the ethics and morals. Quote, our commitment is to finance and facilitate $200 billion to support the growth of clean energy, end quote, while simultaneously financing and facilitating the growth of the fossil fuel industry. Quote, abandoning companies that produce and consume these fossil fuels is not a solution. Instead, we must work with them, end quote. Frankly, we are arm in arm with our oily and gassy buddies, lobbying with misinformation to oppose climate action. Quote, we will focus on the carbon intensity of our clients instead of their absolute emissions, end quote. All right, folks, billionaires buy new words with their money. Carbon intensity is an insanely vague yet scientific-y enough phrase to amaze the congressman. And that was just my first paragraph of a 66-page letter, folks. Thanks for trusting in me to invest your money in fossil fuels.
Thank you, Jamie. Good morning, Chase Bank. I'm so glad that we're gathered here to stand against you and call out you as being the dirtiest of all banks.
Red or not? Should it be red?
Yes, you got it. Let's start with $268 billion. $268 billion. Let that sink in. $268 billion. That's how much Chase has invested in coal, gas, and oil companies in just the last 4 years. $250 billion, $268 billion. $268 billion at current prices is enough to develop and invest in 240 billion watts of solar infrastructure for businesses and homes across the United States. How much energy is 240 billion watts? Anybody want to guess? How long would 240 billion watts keep New York City running? 1 year? 5 years? 650 years? That's how long. 650 years. Okay? But instead, at a time of climate crisis, when the future of our children and our grandchildren hangs in the balance, what does Chase invest in? Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels. And don't believe they're greenwashing, because they plan to, over the next decade, expand the fossil fuel industry. The heat dome that recently struck the Pacific Northwest has been tied to climate change by scientists from around the world. An estimated 800 people died during that. They died in hospitals when the air conditioning broke down. They died in their homes. They died in their cars. These were people that had families. These were people that had kids. These were people that had lives. And they are all dead. They're gone. They're not coming back. They died during those 4 days of record-breaking temperatures. And as a financier of fossil fuels for profit, and knowing full well how fuels contribute to climate change, I say Chase is complicit in these 800 deaths.
Yeah.
Woo.
So we're here to expose Chase for the dangerous and deceitful organization that it is. We're here to interfere with business as usual, because business as usual leads down a path of death and destruction. We're here to warn Chase that we will not stand idly by and allow our future to be destroyed by greed. We are here to say that enough is enough. We're done listening to your bullshit. We're done waiting for action. The climate clock is ticking and time is running out. We demand that you divest. Divest, or we will be back again and again and again, as many times as it takes to force you to act. And if you want to fight, you're going to get one. You're fighting for profits, but we are taking a stand for the future, and we will never give up. This is a fight that we dare not lose. So Chase Bank, now you've been warned. Now act.
Yes. Even Jamie loves it.
Nice job.
All right, I have no prepared statement, but I got a lot to say, and I think what we really need to do here is realize that, you know, a lot of times people get blamed for what they do and don't do and how it affects climate change, when in fact...
Is this on?
It is on. When in fact it's the powers that be, both corporate and governmental. And we really have to hold the feet to the fire to all these entities that have the power, because we don't. I mean, you can recycle all you want, and you know, there's a lot of little things that people tell you is what's going to save the world. That's not true. The world is going downhill because of greed and fear. And the greed is corporate and the fear is government. Government is afraid of the fossil fuel companies, and they pander to them in the legislation that they pass. So we really have to rally the people to realize that we have to hold the feet to the fire. We have to challenge the status quo. We can't keep going as we are today. We need to change pretty much everything. And it's not going to be easy, but we have to do it, and it starts here and it starts now.
Brett, didn't you videotape us in there earlier?
I did for quite a while, but then the guy made me turn it off.
So Susan and Sue are going to be in the front.
Okay.
I'll be waiting for her.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll get in touch.
Heroes.
We're going to be kind and respectful. Joe's going to liaise. Get fine Sue.
I should be doing that.
Oh, I like this parade.
Hi, are you the manager?
Branch manager is here, over here. Yeah. But I can help anything, right?
Yes, we're here today, we're from Extinction Rebellion, New Hampshire, and we just want to draw your attention to that Chase is funding the climate crisis. It has invested, loaned $317 billion to fossil fuel projects since 2016. I don't know if you've noticed that the weather has been very unusual. It's been too hot, it's been too rainy out west, it's been, you know, drought and heat. This is all from the climate crisis. It's only going to get worse, and Chase is really accelerating it, and it really needs to stop. We just want to let you know this. We'd like Chase to commit to a meaningful zero emissions target by pulling investments in all fossil fuel infrastructures, especially on treaty protected lands. Line 3 in Minnesota, just a disastrous pipeline project. We want to start funding a just transition to green energy that will create millions of jobs and promote a true economic recovery, and respect Native American treaties, letting indigenous communities control their own energy and resources, and don't fund fossil fuel projects on their land. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for listening to us. Yes.
And just to let you know, so we sent out a media alert and a press release to the press. So this does impact Chase's image and the brand. And we understand you're just doing your job and this is just a local branch. But we hope that enough of these actions will trickle up to cause Chase to divest from fossil fuels and to put all of the investments into green energy infrastructure. And what's going on in Minnesota right now, there's being the Line 3 pipeline's being built. It's being illegally built through the lands of indigenous peoples. And right now the drills are going directly under the Mississippi River. So we're just bringing this to your attention. We understand that you're just doing your job. We respect that.
Yeah, we do respect that.
So,
cool. And then I have this for you guys as well, if you want. I pass this out.
I do have one, but if anybody else would like one.
One? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some of our efforts.
Yes.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Yes, have a nice day.
Thank you. Great.
Yeah, you can't be both green and black. You have to decide. Not you, but your corporation.
Sorry.
I knew it would.
Can
Right,
you show us
you
the
do great with
pamphlet?
this
Can you
shit.
show us
Yeah.
the pamphlet?
Yeah, I mean, and I've read articles that say, you know, it's really not considerable investment, but it does say commitment to facilitate $200 billion in green financing. Who the fuck knows what green financing is? You know,
Maybe that's money laundering?
Right. 10.6 billion in green bonds and bonds with sustainable use of proceeds in 2018. Now that's a crock of shit. So it's sustainable use of proceeds. That's basically spending all your money at Marshall's. A sustainable use of proceeds. That doesn't mean environmental.
They made money on fossil fuels and spent it.
Since 2013, committed or arranged over $21 billion in tax equity financing for wind, solar, and geothermal. 2.2 in J.P. Morgan Chase investments. And this is all bullshit.
It is.
I mean, it's
greenwashing.
It's vague. Yeah,
Even
it's vague
the billions is nothing out of trillions.
Yeah, true.
It is. I mean, it really is. And that, you know, these commitments are for like 2040 and 2050, and they're buying these offsets. They're paying people who are already going to set up woodlots. They're like, we're paying you to do something you're already going to do, but then we're going to claim an offset.
Oh wow.
It's all bullshit.
And they're
it's all
also
theoretical.
they're not talking about the parallel fossil fuels.
Yeah.
How much they're investing in fossil fuels at the same time.
Yeah.
So whatever greenwash bullshit is fine, but they don't talk about the fossil fuel investments. They all along. They talk about things